Hi everyone.
Hi.
If you're looking for a quick and easy way to improve your English pronunciation,
Yes.
then practicing saying the S sound at the end of words is a great way to do just that. Can you hear that noise? It's the hissing sound that's made from this tyre that's deflating behind me. And it's very much the same hissing sound that we need to make when we pronounce the S at the end of English words. For many words, it's just air coming out of our mouths. We don't need to use our vocal cords or our voice box. We just need to let the air come out like this. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about saying the S sound in the time that it takes for this tyre to deflate. So why do we need to get better at saying that S sound? Well, there's a lot of words in the English language that just finish with the letter S. But also, when we are using the plural form of a noun, we often need to add S to the end of that word. For example, one cat, two cats, one dog, two dogs, one chair, two chairs, one seat, two seats. And the second time might be when we're using the present simple tense and the subject is he, she, or it. In that case, we need to add S to the end of the verb. For example, I sleep, you sleep, we sleep, they sleep. She sleeps, he sleeps, it sleeps. And we also need to add S when we're talking about possessions. For example, this is Peter's pen. So it's very important to be able to let that S sound come out, because otherwise people listening to us might think we don't know how to say a plural noun, or we don't know how to say he, she, and it in the present simple tense, or even we don't know how to talk about people's possessions.
I don't know.
Now, one thing that you might not know is there's actually 3 different sounds that the S sound can make when we're talking in English. The first one is what we've spoken about already, that hissing sound of air coming out. We're not using our voice. And that's used for many words that finish with S. But there are 2 more that I'll tell you about a little bit later. First of all, the easy ones. I eat. He eats. I sleep. She sleeps. I walk. It walks. So in these examples, the sound made by S is just the same as the air coming from the tyre behind me. Or sometimes I like to think about a snake wandering around and letting out that S sound. Don't forget as well that some English words that end with the letters CE also make an S sound. For example, rice, mice, nice, place, dance, fence. Now let's turn to the second sound made by the letter S at the end of the word. And this time, I'm not thinking about the snake. I'm thinking about maybe a bee in the room. It's a Z sound, like the bee buzzing around. And this time we are going to use our vocal cords to add some voice. Zzz, zzz. So, See if you can hear the difference when I make the S sound at the end of these words. Oh, that's one of them right there. Words. Calls. Drives. Smiles. Fears. Sings. No, I'm not going to sing. So how do we know whether S sounds like S or S has that Z sound that we spoke about? Well, generally we have to look at the original word before we added S. And if that word finished with an air sound, then when we do add S, it's going to sound like S. But if the original word finished with a voiced sound, a voiced consonant sound, then when we add S, S is going to sound like Z. Oh, before I forget, I said there were 3 sounds made by the S at the end of English words, and the final one is actually the sound made by some words that end with ES. In this case, we make another syllable, and the words are something like these examples. 1 house, 2 houses. 1 glass, 2 glasses. I teach, she teaches. Can you see that in these cases, the end of the word, the sound is. But because English is English, it's not true of all words that end with ES. For example, gloves. For example, rides. And for example, drives. You can hear that in those cases, they actually make the Z sound. Ooh, well, that hissing noise seems to have stopped. It means all of the air has come out of the tyre, and it also means that my time has finished for today. I do hope you learned something from this lesson. If you did, don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm going to see you again very, very soon. But for today, everyone, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.